If you want to see me swatch the Norvina Volume 1, then stick around. Hi there, it's Hélène, and oh yes, we are going to swatch the Norvina Volume 1. I'm excited enough, the box is already open, and we are going to get right to it. Now, I jumped the gun. I did this look using this palette. If you want to see that look, I will put it right here. And yeah, it's a beast of a palette. I'll get rid of the plastic. And here is the palette. I used the yellow down here. I used this one. I used this one. I used this one. And this guy up here. So those are the shadows I used. Hopefully this is probably better. I am planning on doing half of the swatches on one arm and half the swatches on the other arm. Same standard process of double swatching and of course colorful commentary as we go along. Oh, and I did use the black as well to deepen out the outer lid and the white for the brow bone. The white for the brow bone, not too bad. It's a very light, dusty white, so it doesn't go too crazy. Anyway, I'm going to roll up my sleeves here and get swatching ready for you. I have as well my little cloth here so I can wipe my fingers, and we're going to go straight in with the first row. And I think I'm going to do just 3 fingers at a time. So let's do these 3 and then these 3. So we're just going to keep going row by row in order from left to right. So I'm going to go right in with A1, which I was really curious about. Actually, the first 3 I was really curious about. But I vowed not to do a purple look because I've done a lot of purple lately on this channel. So it's time to do something a little different. So I've got these 3. A1, A2, holy cow, that is pigment. A3. I don't know why, I thought this was going to be a little bit more patchy. Okay, so there's the first swatch of those. And the fingers. On the fingers, you can see that a matte's going to apply fine because it's spreading okay on the skin. Okay, so going back in, this one has a white base that looks really neat. A1, A2, A3. Holy cow. Okay, I really like these colors. I can even do a look with just these 2. Nice. And the fingers are even better. I'm happy with that. Cool. Okay, so the first half of the first row is already promising, so I'm pretty happy with that. And I mean, having used them already, I have an idea of at least some of the formula. I think I used 6 of the shadows already in a 25 pan, so that's a decent ratio. Okay, fingers are wiped, and we're going to go into the last 2 here and the first one down here. So A4, which I used on my center lid today. The hot pink A5 and the B1, which is kind of a fuchsia pink. Okay, so A4, A5, yikes. Mattes can be a rough swatch. Well, I'm not used to seeing them ball like that. And then B1. Now, these mats are definitely meant for the brush. And you can see the residue. I mean, the color is very nice once the extra powder is gone. So, but let's do a second swatch anyway of these. B4, B5. Yeah, once the mats have a base of that same color, they apply a lot better. So I think each one of the mats, the first swatch is going to be pretty brutal. For a matte lover, there are a lot of mattes in this palette. And that B4 is really, really a nice color, and I think it really brightened up the center lid. Okay, just wiping those off, and we are going to go into the majority of the second row. Okay, so we're going to go and swatch these three. So B2, which I used on my outer lid. B3, which is a beautiful pink shimmer. And B4, that I would really want to get my brush in. I love that one. Wow. Okay, so B2. B3. Holy cow. That makes me think of the Amrezy palette. And B4. Oh, wow. That is a gorgeous purple matte. Oh. Nice. Okay, this palette's growing on me. Still can't believe I didn't go for the purples today. Such restraint. Okay, second go. That pink is beautiful. So B2, B3, and B4. Oh yeah, that built up super, super well. Yeah, and has a white base as well, huh? Interesting. Okay, and fingers. This is so much fun. Okay, we have the last shadow in the B series and going into a couple of the C's now. And there is staining, so these are definitely pigments. All right, so B5 and then a couple in the C section here. B5 looks like it has some shimmer to it. It barely though, I think it's just for blendability. And then we're going into the white and into the gold that I did not use today. It'd be an interesting color combo, really. Okay, so we've got the last of the B's. Yeah, that little bit of shimmer is just for blendability, I think. Then we have the white. And the gold. Okay, so let's re-swatch those. That gold does not have as much punch as the one I used today. And C2 it's a little bit tacky, which is not a bad thing if you're going to put it on the lid. So again, the last in the B series, then the white. and the gold one last time. Oh yeah, that builds up much more nicely than I expected. That's good. That's good news. That white is not bad. It's nice that it's buildable though. Okay, what do I think of the first half? This could be a palette in and of itself, just as is. There are enough mattes, there's enough color variety, purple and golds go well together, of course with the pinks. Yeah, this could just be a palette in and of itself. That's interesting. Here are the fingers one more time. So we have half the palette done, and I'm going to switch arms now so that we have a lot more room, and we're going to get into most of the second half of the palette. Well, literally, the second half of the palette. So we finished at gold, and we've got these three, so C3 to C5 to do on the next go. And C3 looks really good. That one was tempting this morning. And then C4 and C5. It looks like C3, C4, and C5 on their own could do a nice look. So let's give these a go. C3. Oh gosh, that is beautiful. C4. And C5. That one's kind of creamy. That's a different texture, and it made for a very fat swatch. That's kind of ugly, but look at the fingers. Look at C3 and C5. Look at that combination. That's interesting. Okay. Okay. I want to do a look with those two. Definitely. Now we're going to go back in, but I think it's somewhat of a moot point. On C5, I'm just picking up the kick up because there's a lot. Okay, C4 built up a little bit better, and then this one should just be smoothing everything out. Those big swatches, I don't think I'm going to have room. Holy cow. I'm going to have to be a little bit more restrictive here as we go to the last two rows, because I still have 10 swatches to do. I'm in trouble. Well, I still have some room here if I'm in absolute dire straits. Okay, we're in the D row, and we are going to do these three first. A very nice yellow that I did not use this morning. D2 is very interesting to me. We'll see how it looks. And then another matte, a matte red. It's kind of a reddish orange. Okay, so let's put these a little tighter, shall we? Here's the yellow. This is D2. And D3, which is a matte. It just feels very sticky. It's like there's something in the matte formula just makes it sticky. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, let's go again in these, and I did put a little blue in the red here that I just wiped off. Okay, so yellow again, blue, and red. Okay, that yellow's a lot better than it was on the first go. Now the blue. And the red. I can't explain it. They're like, they're tacky. They go on the finger dry, but then they're kind of tacky as you apply them. It's really the weirdest thing. Okay, and the fingers. Okay, we are going into the last two of the D's and the first one in the E category or row. And let's go with D4, which is, it's like a bluish purple. Well, it's definitely blue. Blue, the black, and then the duochrome peachy goodness that I put on my, as a topper over top the orange in this look. Okay, so we have D4. D5. And E1. Uh-oh. It went into the black here. Wipe this off. Here are the fingers. So the black crumbled a little bit, and that's how it got into the peach. But that is a nice color. That is a very common color right now, of that kind of gold peach duochrome. But that blue is very different from what I'm used to. Yeah, that black was really crumbly. It went all over the palette. It didn't do that with the brush though. That is some blue. I would love to use that as a liner on the lower lash line for sure. And here is the black, hopefully swatching more cleanly than last time. And then let's see if we can give the peach out. You know what? I'm going to clean off my finger and start the peach over because it got so contaminated with the black that it's not giving you at all a view of what it should look like. So I'm going to clean that up and we'll start that swatch over again. I have never had a swatching experience this messy. So here is the peach again. We are going to give it its time in the sun. I'm going to swatch it again. Okay, there we go. And next to the black, it just kind of gets lost, doesn't it? Okay, and the three fingers. All right, so we have 4 left, and I'm actually going to attempt to do all 4 fingers at once. So I will use my pinky for the last one, but it's a very deep color, and I don't think it's going to be a problem. Okay, so we have 2 colors, actually 3 colors in this row that I used. You just saw the peach and I used these 2, and these 2 will be new to me colors. So let's swatch these 4. And I do like the mustard green, mustard yellow. Why did I say green? And there's kind of a flamingo pink. And then this nice burgundy at the end, which I think is going to hold its own with the pinky. Okay, so we have D2. And it is brighter than it looks like in the pan, but it could be the black background. I'm not sure why it doesn't show as vibrant in the pan. And there's that dusty yellow. No, mustardy yellow. Why can I not talk today? Mustard yellow. Geez. Okay. And then we have the very, I called it, yeah, it's sort of flamingo pink. It's like one of those neon type colors. It didn't swatch very well though. And then whoop. And the final color, which is that burgundy color. Okay, they definitely need a second swatch, and here are the fingers. Okay. This is the roughest swatch video I've ever done. These are not swatch video friendly. At least in my experience. Maybe I'm just goofing up, I don't know. They're very powdery, crumbly. When using the finger. With a brush, I did not have any of those issues. So the shadows where, that built up nicely. The shadows where you would normally use a finger, they've swatched perfectly fine. But the mattes are really rough in this one. But again, a swatch is not the way you would apply a matte to the eye, so I'm not concerned at all. And finally, the last one. Okay, I'm just going to build the bottom of this one up a little bit so that it's even. Okay. And it makes me want to hear the fingers one last time. And I think I'm just going to build up this little guy right here that got a little bit lost. And then all the swatches should be pretty even, yeah. And then we'll take a look at the whole lot of them. I don't know what it is about the formula because the mattes feel powdery to the touch. But when you put them on your skin, I'm just touching my skin, I didn't do anything weird. I didn't put a bunch of lotion or anything, I don't know. It just feels like they get tacky as you're swatching them on your arm. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think. Okay, but here is first couple of rows and the second half of the palette. So let's just do a little double decker here. And what do we think? I'm going to say for sure my purple and pink loving heart, and I do like gold as well, likes my right forearm better. And if I want to go for a more neutral look, I think that except for the blues, the bottom half is better for a neutral look, despite the fact that there are these two, because the problem is with these two, there's nothing to pair with for a neutral look. But down on the bottom, you have these two powerhouses right here. This one, this one, this one, definitely the yellows and the black, and of course this guy. So I'm going to say I'm definitely partial to these swatches, the first half of the palette. If the palette had ended right here, I would be happy. Now, of course, like I said, there are a couple of really nice ones down here. I really like this one. I like the fact that there's a black. I like this duochrome, and I don't mind the yellows. So I guess it's just the blues I'm not big on, and that red I'm not big on. And this orange, meh. But what about you? Let me know what you think of these swatches. I'll show you the swatches one more time. Oh, I'll go this way. Do you have favorites? Do you think that there are some that we shouldn't be bothering with? I'd just be curious to hear your thoughts. And do you have the palette? If so, what do you think of the palette? And if not, what is keeping you away from either Norvina Volume 1 or the whole set of the Norvina line? I would love to hear. So this was an interesting swatches experience. These were the toughest swatches I have ever had to do, and I've done a bunch of brands. And mostly it was with the second set that I had trouble with the swatching, right? It started here and it just kept going, and it's only when I got to the last row where it got more reasonable again. So yeah, I don't know if it's a difference in formula, but anyway, I have taken enough of your time. I hope you enjoyed this swatches video. Again, let me know what you think. I always love to hear from you. And with that, I'm going to say thank you so much for watching and watching and watching. This was a long one. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. But for now, take care.